You all drift off into slumber. Talavin.
Yes, I know.
Your eyes flicker open. You notice that scenery has once again changed, but not by much. As you see the hundreds and thousands of stars above you, you're no longer in that same four-poster bed. You're by that very still lake. Silhouetted mountains on either side, as well as the dark forest behind you.
How big is the moon? I look up.
The moon is always a very faint crescent, but it seems to glow brighter.
Yay! I did a good thing. What do I need? What do I do tonight? I don't know what I want to do. Who do I want to talk to? I haven't talked to Bay in a long time. Good Lord. She's probably going to kill me the second I try to talk to her. You haven't talked to me in weeks!
Is she saying this out loud? Like,
nope. In her head. Bay can hear her in her head anyway, so it doesn't matter. Is anybody there without me? I was wondering who I'm going to see tonight.
Well, make a perception check.
Oh, well. Is that cocked? I can't tell. I feel like it's leaning up against that other one.
it's leaning up against the other dice, but I'd say it's pretty solid.
Okay, I'm going to leave it then, and I'm going to go with a 21.
21. Looking about initially, you don't see anything. You don't see anyone. And then emerging from the opposite side of the lake, the same silvery blue eyes, a lit in flame, the obsidian wolf, Malik, just emerges seamlessly from the shadows.
Yes, I will walk towards Malik.
Yourself.
No. I look calmly. I did a good thing today. I don't have anything to worry about. There are no scoldings happening tonight. I am 100% positive.
I killed a couple people, but
it was in self-defense!
I didn't start it. Just keep in mind, I'm not the one who started the killing. He started the killing.
Technically.
Well, technically, someone else started the killing, and I just helped finish it. You go up, seeing that obsidian wolf. His form just dwarfs you. He sits tall, proud.
He looks proud. Yes. Oh, the happiness. She just radiates this glow of happiness, but she's got the straight face. No, she doesn't. She's grinning like a fool. She can't seem to decide whether or not she just wants to, like, act cool or, like, be super, super stoked with herself yet. She's having, like, an internal battle of just, like, not too much smile, but just a little smile, but not too much. But not really. She's just gonna kind of walk up and just a small grin and like a little twinkle in her eye. She's just like, no scoldings tonight. Yeah.
You see the obsidian wolf almost smiling.
Yes.
You did very well.
Now she's smiling. It went way better than planned.
There are many forces at work against you. Fortune smiled upon you.
This is even better than I could have ever hoped for. We got everyone out and got them home. Well, almost. Everyone.
Come with me.
Oh, yes!
He stands up and begins walking towards the lake.
Don't get in the lake. Am I wearing regular clothes? Please tell me I'm not in a nightgown about
You're wearing what you fell asleep in.
Should have put pants on. God damn it.
It's just enough to cover just the bottom part of your cheek. It's mid-thigh, just hangs loosely on your frame. Seems to absorb the moonlight.
That's fine.
No.
I technically never re-loosened, so these are still together.
No, they're looking.
Okay, I will walk with him.
Step after step after step. You walk into the water. You grab a hold of his fur instinctually. Make a constitution saving throw as that frigid, ice-cold water seeps in between your toes, up your thighs, up to your midsection. You feel it catching in your lungs. You feel your entire body wanting to seize.
That's an 8.
And even though you're gripping Malik's fur, your body just halts.
Oh, man.
You cannot will yourself to take another step. He feels the tug in his fur, waits, turns back to you.
I try again.
Make another constitution saving throw as you are trying to get past
15.
You're just right past your navel. You make it up past your mid chest.
Yeah, it's like once you get to here, it's okay, but it's like getting from here to here. It's like,
yeah. While the sensitiveness, make another constitution saving throw.
Oh no. No! What the fuck? I was rolling so well earlier. That is a 7.
7. You reach just below your chest, right at the sensitive area, and you take that another moment of pause. His fur is tugged again, and he just waits patiently.
He just waits. It's so embarrassing. I'm trying a different dice. That is a 1.
You just feel everything hardening, stiffening, shuddering. You're having a hard time breathing. You want to run back to the banks.
No, I will not. I will not do that. I will try again.
Make another constitution saving throw.
Oh, it's 18. That's a natural 18. Plus 3, that is a 21. Get that ass in the water, girl, before he leaves you. Like,
you take that moment, and as you see that silvery blue flame licking at his eyes, you just imagine that heat, that warmth. Just grasp his fur a little tighter. Take another step as he leads you into the water. You fall as it covers your head. You feel your hair drifting behind you, being pulled by the weight of the water around you. There's that ledge, that impossibly dark ledge, and you fall off of it. Drifting along with Malik, you see the same silvery flames, slightly dimmed, but also illuminating the way. Your feet gain purchase on the ground as you instinctually breathe in. You feel the water fill your lungs, but it does not bring pain. The cold, numbing now. You do not sense it. You take a step, another step, make a perception check.
It was a little bit cocked, but I know, it's fine. That's a natural 1. It was a little cocked, but then I hit it, so it was my fault.
You begin seeing forms and shapes pulling from the darkness. But at that moment, you're drawn by that light. Your vision is all consumed by the light emanating just off of the corners of his eyes. He takes another step, another step. Make another perception check.
Okay, that's a little better. That's better. Perceptions. 19.
19, that's a lot better. And a 1.
Yeah. A little bit.
Your eyes watch as he looks to the side. And you're surprised you didn't notice it before, but as you look over, you can see these very faint globs of that same silvery blue light just lighting up. And you watch as the dark shapes which you saw before are coalescing into forms, into shapes, into continents. Entire map of the world. You see these very faint blue lights just smattered all across.
Is it very... So, like, the one that I saw last time that I drew, can I tell if there's a difference between the one that I saw the first time versus this one now?
You look initially and do not see a difference. Until you see right above where you would be Light goes out and spreads in this golden spark. And all of a sudden you see in 3 other places.
The lights go out?
Lights go out.
Shit.
You look down in some of the other places. Handful of others exploding in this golden silver light, like fireworks, dissipating and fading into the darkness. Seems as though your warning has caused a chain reaction. As you watch some of the ones nearest to you, your location,
she is like, yes. Such success.
there's still an overwhelming amount of lights. You're watching the ones dissipate, seeing the way they sparked and faded out after only a few short hours after the event themselves. You feel like you've started something. There's just a sense of peace, and you feel almost this slow creeping warmth down your arm as you're just feeling Malik's warmth. What do you wish to know? You hear his voice, like that rolling thunder emanating from the dark.
So I saw where that last one was, the one that we kind of just so the closest one to us, from what I remember, was the one in Brackle. What? Bracklewhite. Okay, like I have it like partially marked out in my notes, and so then it's like written over, and I can't tell what the heck it says.
That was when you were complaining about my spelling convention.
Yes, it was. Is that still the one that's closest to us?
It's not anymore.
It's not there anymore?
It's not there anymore. You watched it fizzle and dissipate.
Shit. No, now we don't know where to go. We can't just go there for no reason.
If only we had a map of places where we could go.
Okay,
the ones nearest to your area are the ones that are going out. But there are others all across the world that are also dissipating. And you hear him. Huh. There's another one. Breaks.
Can I tell? Like, are any of the lights like brighter than others?
Make a perception check.
That is a natural 19. So that is 25. 20 plus 7 is 26.
26. Yeah. You notice that there are none that are particularly brighter than the others.
Okay.
Some seem slightly larger, others seem smaller, but none seem particularly brighter. They all emanate the same soft white blue glow, very similar to Malik's eyes.
I don't notice that. I'm just kidding. Are there any that look? You said there are some that look larger. Are there some that look larger and then have like a lot more? Like, is there like a condensed area of any?
There are a few.
Are there any near us? Where it looks like there might be a significant amount of activity?
Some, not a vast majority. It seems. Make an intelligence check.
That's not good. Well, it's still 9. 9.
9.
9.
It's hard to tell.
Do I recognize any of the places that are aglow? Because I know I've mapped them out, but do I know I haven't traveled super around here, but like, do I see any that I might recognize places?
There are a few down south that you recognize are near the capital and near a few other locations. further south in Athiovion.
And then I remember, okay, so for my brother, he was back home from what I remember for the time being. Are there any near where my home was?
There is one.
Do I recognize where it is? It's kind of my home area. I should know a little bit.
Do you recognize exactly where it is?
Yeah.
Based on this map of the entire world, it's not like these are just like little pin lights. They're consuming the area, so you know it's from your home.
Okay. But how far? Okay. So like, my home is like over here on the map, I think, and then we're like over here. We're over here, right? Because we were just crossing. We were heading north towards my home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're slightly south.
I don't think I drew. I don't think I
west. I think we're southwest of your home.
Okay, so then.
And we're northeast from mine. I think. Could be wrong. It is pretty complicated, I must say.
So.
Okay.
This is Colasil, this entire continent up here.
Yeah.
This is the Hhatu Strip, and you guys have been kind of like hovering in this area right here.
Okay.
Or just north of that, your home is like over here.
Okay. Do you want to continue going north? Okay. So if we were to continue going just straight north, do I see any significant, or do I see any lights in that general direction besides just the one near my home?
Other than the one near your home, no.
I feel like it's really early in the campaign to go home. Oh.
I mean, you haven't been back in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't been back in years. Okay. Shit. Do it. God, I don't want to.
You don't have to say no.
Okay, I'll ask him. I'll point towards the one near my home, and I'll be like, "What? Can you tell me more about this one?"
His eyes squint, narrow at it. His head turns curiously, and sends almost this shoulder roll back. You've seen this happen a few times now. Just shrouded from me.
The last time I saw my brother, the Sprite Spice, she was able to show me where he was. That's where he was, wasn't it?
Thanks for a moment. Yes. It is. It was home. Your home.
Do you know if he's still there?
He takes a moment and concentrates. You feel the fur tug and a no shake. He's shrouded from me. Has been for some time. The fact that the young Sprite was able to locate him is a miraculous feat on its own.
Yes, it was different seeing him. I think I'll have to converse with Nora some, but I feel like I want to go that way and maybe try to put out that light as well.
You feel him tense.
Oof. You can probably tell that I'm super tense. I know. don't really know what else to say.
Says more information may be needed before attending that location. If it is shrouded from me, it has me concerned.
Then, do you suggest we look elsewhere for now? I don't want to go somewhere that's going to put everyone in danger. Well, more than we already are.
That could be anywhere. Given what you are, given what you've started, undoubtedly there will be some who will remember your face.
I don't know where we'll go to next then. I need to see if Nora has any plans. I haven't been able to talk with her either.
Very well. He begins walking through that shape as you watch the lights dissipate around you like falling stars. As you feel your feet lift, once again weightless, suspended in complete darkness. Before your feet once again gain purchase and you gasp for air as you breach the surface, leading step after step after step. You instinctually cough, sputtering out the liquid in your lungs.
Oh, I can just feel like that's just the most unnatural thing ever. Wow. Let's see. Oh, I guess I could ask Malik if he has any advice on how to. I guess I could. Don't know.
He looks at you and he presses his woven lips, and just grazing your forehead. You're dry.
The Sprite that helped get most of them out of the mansion, Citron. Is it Citron or Citron? Citron. 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 I even wrote down Citron. Goddamn. I don't know how to. I know that they owe us a debt, and I just don't want them to have to stay with us. I don't know how to keep their end of a debt while still I don't know how to work with them and still keep them safe and get them back where they belong with their families and back to their homes. I don't want them to end up with these, or I don't want to end up with any more of those. I want them to be able to go home, but I don't want to insult them. Do you have any advice? So I'm stuttering over my words because I can't seem to get the fucking words out of my mouth.
Indeed, it is a predicament. It is unfortunate that you are struggling with this, and I'm not sure. You have this conceived notion of the mark on your arm being some kind of mark of slavery, some kind of debt, an unpayable debt. That is not the case.
I just don't want anyone to die for me.
No one does. Not really. Not the good people. I'm I'm sure there is a way that you can negotiate. Many of them have abilities, as you do, as your friend Talal, as Jin, as Spice, as Citron, Wood, and Raven, all of them. Perhaps they're not among you right now. Perhaps it will require them returning back to their home, conjuring up a plan. But they will want to pay this debt. It would do them a disservice if you were to dismiss such a thing.
I wouldn't want to do that. That's not my intention. I just don't know what to do.
There's compromise. Seek it out.
Do like a Sprite rental system. Be like, let's trade them out every once in a while. I'm not there.
Sprite Enterprises?
Enterprise.
Just have Citron drop off a couple and pick up a few each week. Be like, oh, we'll take these ones.
For this mission, we need these abilities. If you can just gather up some of those.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be absolutely horrific. I feel like that's worth a life debt.
Yes. Or am I?
I don't know. Where are you?
I don't know.
Off in the distance, we hear Nora's maniacal laugh with Jasper outside.
Sorry.
I'm sure between the many of us, we can come to agreeable terms for everyone.
I have no doubt you will. I may be gone for a time. Do not be alarmed. I'm going to investigate what I can.
Will you be gone very long?
I don't know. Hopefully not too long.
I hope not.
I'll return with whatever news I can. Is there something you wish to know?
I want to know more about the higher-ups of this Sprite working. The more I can learn about the people that maybe started this and what their goal is behind it, maybe the sooner we can bring it to an end.
I'll do what I can. He dips his head and turns and begins fading into the darkness.
Be safe.
I love you.
He stops and turns, and you see almost a wolfen smirk, this canine smirk. A slight amusement in his eyes. So should you be. And he vanishes into the darkness.
Ooh, my heart was going through
Your
my throat.
eyes open, and you are once again staring up at hundreds and thousands of stars above you. They are part of the mural. As you've woken up.
I'm going to take out my... Damn, I don't have my journal! Fuck! Damn it! I was going to erase all the dots that were disappearing.
Well, your stuff was brought to your room.
Oh, yeet! I'm going to take out my journal and I'm going to erase the dots.
It's ink. It's not really an erasable...
So then, with mending, I saw it can I, with mending, can I, like, remove the ink?
Make a wisdom saving throw as you try
No,
this.
I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna put, like, an X through them. Like
Okay.
just like a... I'm not about to
I should make you follow through with what you said, but I'm feeling gracious.
Okay.
Nora.
Now I get to sit.
You open your eyes and see the very faint bits of stars. Slight crescent moon glowing brightly. You're once again tucked in the roots of a tree, shrouded in darkness. After a moment of you recognizing where you were, you hear, "Well done."
Which direction is it coming from?
Behind you.
Behind me? Wasn't there a tree?
You see stepping up from behind the tree is Jasper. His tousled black hair actually off to the side in a partial braid. He's wearing a different colored cloak than today. Instead of that dark colored, he's actually wearing something silvered that hangs at his elbows.
Oh, I don't want to say. I'm just gonna go to him and I'm going to make sure the ring is there.
Make a perception check.
Oh no! I
Damn.
11.
11. You see a glint on his hand.
Okay.
He helps you up.
I'm going to hug him and be like, we did it!
He, as you reach your arms around him, you can sense there's a slight tense and almost startled.
I don't care.
And his arms clasp around you from behind, just wrap around you. Like, I knew you could. You're clever.
Alright, I'm going to let go. I'm just so
He
excited.
lingers for a moment longer before letting go. And tucks a strand of hair behind your ear. And just takes that moment, and you can just see this smile, this luminous smile. As he, I'm very proud of you. I knew you could. And if I hear correctly, you might have started a chain reaction of positivity. Things are set in motion now.
That is good. Because I know this franchise or this enterprise goes much deeper than just this one area. So it's good to hear. It's less work for later, you could say.
Agreed. Well, the night is young. Have something you want to do?
What did you say? What?
I heard that. I remember you said that.
Why didn't you hear? Let's see. You know, I am feeling rather in a good mood. Can we do some training?
Of course. His arm emerges from beneath that half cloak. He offers it to you. He walks you through the woods, glow surrounding both of you as you pass by tree after tree. And once again, he reaches out, touches the area, and the trees bend and fold and weave into an arena, revealing the sky above. He takes his cloak, pulls it off, gives it a toss, and it catches on some unseen hook. What do you wish to do?
I'm going to master my wings this time.
It might take longer for mastery, but I admire your enthusiasm and confidence. Let's begin then, shall we?
All right.
Stance? You get in your stance, and you begin focusing and concentrating. What do you do?
Okay, so I have a lot more information to pull on this time. I'm just gonna bask in the success that we saved the sprites. We did it. Yeah. And just Okay, wait, that's not specific enough, is it? Okay. No. Okay, one thing about... Was it specific enough? Okay, we saved the sprites. We did it, and this is the... A good victory for all sprites and how we brought that about.
Make an intelligence saving throw.
Intelligence? Oh, man.
You stated a fact. It was the way you said it.
I struggle with this. I know, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, 17.
You stand there focusing, concentrating, and as you exhale, you feel that burst of warmth begin flooding your chest and spreading through it.
Okay, and then... Rats, how is it? Okay, fact. I struggle with this every single time. Okay, charisma. Investigation, charisma, persuasion. I'm going to think about how... Okay, fact. That would be a fact. You usually get charisma, don't you?
Yeah, sadly. Sadly, yeah.
What do you usually say?
It's my feelings. I'm talking about how, I was able to save someone by believing myself and using my own strength and my own character.
Okay.
I remember you mentioned these things.
It's worth it. I'm sorry, but it's worth it. I need help. Okay. By my force of will and by my character. My force of will and my character. Okay, I can do this. I'm going to think about how I threw my...
It's a kitty.
Come on, lay down. Come here. You can't be up here, my love.
Yes, I can.
Okay, through my perseverance, even though I was frenzied at the time and kept messing up, I still persevered. And through my force of will, out of the...
Saving throw.
A what?
That was good enough. You don't have to keep
Make
going.
a charisma saving throw.
Okay. Natural 19 plus 7 is 26.
You're welcome.
Yes. Remember you said
when
that.
she kills me, you owe me.
I owe you a lot already.
When she takes off that necklace and strikes me down with a bolt of lightning, we know why.
Rips it off and rip it off with my teeth. As you're taking that moment, you're focusing, concentrating, you realize it was your force. It was you. It was your cousin. You all changing the fabric of reality. Altering it to save so many lives. And as you focus, you feel that warmth spread through your chest, down your limbs, just illuminating every nerve, every fiber, every muscle, tensing, vibrating.
Okay. So then I'm going to think about the chain reaction that Jasper mentioned. I'm going to think about how that chain reaction is going to, or I'm going to continue to use my power to get that momentum, to use that momentum to our advantage and continue the positive wave.
Make another charisma saving throw.
Bless you. I saw you thinking. Okay, that's a 16. Yeah.
16?
Yeah.
It's slow. Not Not painful, but just slow, as it begins creeping up your arms. You feel it beginning to pull from your legs, just drawing up your spine. Slow. It's about halfway. Going.
And then I'm going to... Let's see, now that's more of a fact. See, some force of will by doing something else. No, that's intelligence. No, I don't want that. Okay.
By the way, Talavin, your shirt is doing so many crazy things in the camera.
Yeah, no, I can tell because it's like these trips are going this way and like these are going this way, so like I can like see it.
Yeah.
It's like tripping me out. I'm actually gonna change it real quick because it's bothering me.
Okay.
It's literally making my eyes hurt.
I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, no, I had. It was literally making my eyes hurt.
He's been doing that this whole time. I've just been like prismatic or not phantasmal forces. It's the ones with the buttons where you just hypnotic pattern. There we go. Just hey, so baby.
Charisma. Okay, so that's force of will, power, and then we're going to think about how through. Let's see. No, that's intelligence. Because it's logical. It's just how my head works. Through our... What would you call it? How I used my charming... How I used my charm to pull off the event to kind of go undercover, and it's deception. Yes, and deceive. Lady Ellaloth, deceived her by using my charisma. Does that work?
Use the charisma saving throw.
Oh, thank you. Come on, man. Okay, that's a 19.
19. Begin focusing on all of your natural abilities, things that you've been enhancing, things that you've been working on, that personality, that force of will. You think about all of the things that you've used it for. There's almost a pang of guilt of, yes, I did deceive these people. The end result was worth it. And you would gladly take on that burden again. And you feel it drawing faster up your spine. You feel it rush along your shoulder blades. You're right there at the cusp.
Okay. I'm going to think about the performance that I had to do whenever they thought I was... Shoot, what's her name?
Leonara?
No, not Leonara. The henchman. Olna. Whenever, I think it was Bran, was like, Olna, is that you? And I deceived him with a performance check that I was her because I'm so convincing.
Make another charisma saving throw.
Shoot, I almost made a mistake because I said because. Yeah. I wrote in my notes a while ago.
Stop writing because!
Yeah, I said, never ever say because. Say bye instead. Okay. 13.
13. That energy maintains, surging. Need something slightly more. As you begin focusing, you think about everything in that moment that could have gone wrong. What if they had seen through your ruse?
Okay. I'm going to think about the the rush of just like not motivation, the rush of passion that I felt whenever I saw the sprites on the table that were pinned down and their wings were removed, and how I just had to get them out of that situation.
That's an intelligence saving throw.
Just emotions.
There was logical of, I felt these emotions when this thing happened.
What if so if I said I just felt these emotions? I know it's...
It would be wisdom.
Really? Wisdom's better. I mean, I know you said intelligence, I can't take it back, but... So just saying I felt these... Okay. Okay.
You're reflecting on these things, but then in this moment, you're also stating a fact of, I felt this emotion essentially because of this thing.
So if it's just the emotions, then it would be the wisdom. Okay, 15, so...
15. You feel that energy swirling, coalescing. And for a moment, you feel it leaking down your spine. Make a charisma saving throw.
Natural 20!
As you feel it beginning to seep back down your spine, you frustratingly will yourself. You say, no. Not today. And you take that moment and you concentrate and you focus on you. That force that is you. And instantly you feel it draw up, fade, and
Natural 20.
That same midnight blue coalescing down, ombreing into silver, almost daggers at the end, flecks of silver illuminating on either side. Listen, Jasper. Didn't seem so hard this time. Comes up, gives your chin a little pinch. What was different?
The success of today. Not as much worry.
And try to continue that.
Yes.
I like seeing you like this.
It is quite refreshing that a weight has been lifted off my chest. I just feel so free. At the moment, I just kind of like flutter just a little bit. I feel free.
Off the ground.
Just a little bit.
Land back. His hair, and that, as you flare your wings, brushes back.
Oh, sorry. Alright. Nora's going to just take a moment and dispel her wings, and then say,
dissipate in that same silvery dust, just fading like a cloud.
I'm just going to pause. For the time we have left, I do have a question I would like to get your opinion on. The sprites say that they owe us a debt. And I can see that they do owe us a debt.
As long as I've been alive, sprites have adhered to this particular law. Especially when it comes to owing their lives to much larger folk. It can be seen as a protection method as well as one of honor.
I see. So, I need to find a way so that they can fulfill this debt, but also not have to be separate from their people after they've been in captivity for so long. Any ideas?
As always, there's compromise. You need to be sure to phrase it in such a way that you're not implying that they're not going to repay you. Have some kind of contingency. If you want them to be away, you need to have some mode of communication with them.
Motherfucker. God damn it, Jacob. What my whole fucking life.
Hey, Jacob, can we have
Can I get the amulet back, though?
Hi, Jacob. Oh, how you been?
You want to just like
That gift I gave you, can I get it back?
UPS, like overnight shipping?
Okay. Alrighty. Suppose I'll just have to talk to them about it then. Although
Sprites can be prideful, and that can work to their benefit or their demise, whichever you see fit. By implying that they don't need to pay you back, almost seems as though you're dismissing the value of their own life. By saying, no, don't pay us, you shouldn't feel indebted to us. One cannot help how they feel. There's a compromise, I know there is. And I know you'll find it.
you give good advice as always.
Hardly say that.
He's getting wise in his old age. Oh.
I didn't say that. Let's see. I just hope that they're able to forge a new home where the other ones went. I don't know where they went. But
The name of the one who helped get everyone out. It was Citron, right?
yes.
He's a good one. I met him a few times. In his very early years.
Really?
Oh, yes. A rabble-rouser. Fascinated with books and tomes and learning. He's especially one that you have on your side.
Yes, he did have some very interesting tomes in his library. One particular about a Sarah Lee.
Shit, where is it? It's right there. Sarah Lee Kevin Dirtinu.
Continue.
Ah. Yes, I have heard of that name before. Tragic end, but not undeserved.
Oof.
I see. I found her codes. I wasn't able to decipher all of them, but it was interesting to try to decipher, just as a puzzle.
I imagine it is. I recall some of those codes still to this day have yet to be broken, or at least those who are familiar and aware of her first-hand account transcripts. She has many other journals that are here and there. I believe Citron managed to discover one of the first. But at any rate.
I see. Okay. Nora's gonna pause and look slightly, I don't know, not bashful, hesitant for a moment. Before asking, this is slightly out of the blue. Have you had any word from my homeland? Are things still normal there? Listening to the sprites regain their home has made me reflect on mine.
I have not peered back into the Merryweather Timber Grove, but I could possibly go and peer in if you want. I've unfortunately been preoccupied with other taskings. And that brings up the point of I'm going to have to leave for a time. An extended period of time. I have to go with the one who rules this particular domain. Help him out with a few things. He does let me reside in this area. It's the least I can do. And at any rate, I'm more familiar with what it is we're seeking.
Well, that is very noble of you.
Fulfilling a debt. That's all.
Speaking of which, I have a lot to think about with the Sprite debt, fulfilling debts. Can't just do a favor, can you?
Remember that everyone owes someone something at any given point in time. It's just some take it more seriously than other rights happen to be one of them.
Okay, this is cheesy, but I'm in a good mood, so Nora's gonna look at him knowingly and try not just to convey, not gonna say anything, just the subtle she owes Jasper a lot. Just kind of yes, I do know that people always owe debts. And then she just dies. This is so hard.
There's this look of understanding that just washes over him. He said, "That's hardly fair, but I can see your point." I can make an insight check if you want.
Yes! Okay, that's good. You're crawling over my shoulder.
Literally bumps the tray and switches it to a 1.
21. A 21 for insight.
21. You notice your expression is mirrored in his for a fleeting moment.
So Nora keeps it together.
Welcome to Damsels and Dice as I proceed to slowly kill my friend and my sister. Very slowly through the amount of cuteness and architecture. For cuteness and architecture, I slay.
You bet I'm gonna be watching this back. Okay, sorry.
Oh, God.
It's mirrored. Okay. Alright, well, be very safe on your journey. Because Nora kept it together for that.
You too, and be wary. When things grow quiet, or at least when I hear things go quiet, it has me worried.
I will keep my
Be careful. Don't do anything too reckless. Nothing I wouldn't do.
Am I ever reckless?
Yes, you are.
Knowing smile.
In the back of Talavin's head, she feels like a bolt of lightning strike through her entire body.
As you gasp for air, you're like, I feel something in the back of my head. It's bothering me.
Okay. Oh my god, 29.
He takes your hand and clasps it in his for a moment. He says, with that being said, get some rest. And with a low bow, he says, my lady. And kisses the back of your hand. Goes over to that unseen hook, removes his cloak, swings it around his body, just looks like a shooting star as it wraps around his shoulders, clasps it, and wake up. And you're pulled instantly from the dream.
Welcome to Damsels and Dice, where therapy comes in lightning bolts and hot men.
My favorite kind.
My favorite kind. I like both of those things. Yep.
Ooh.
Pop, pop, pop.
Okay. That was wonderful. That was wonderful. Thank you for that. I could die happy now.
There's no dying yet.
No. Okay, I'm done.
Not until we reach the end goal.
I don't do anything in the morning. I'll probably just reflect. No.
You open your eyes. The bed is the perfect temperature as you stretch, just consumed with pillows and soft.
I'm gonna go to Talavin's room.
You pull yourself from the bed.
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna
You make your way over to Talavin's room. Or do you just enter?
I'm just gonna enter.
You go into the room, close the door behind you, and see her. She's just snoring.
Like my comforter.
I'm like sketching in my notebook. I'm like,
and you see her sketching in her notebook.
Mm-hmm. Good morning. I'm gonna jump on her bed.
There's this little bit of soft wave to it.
Just kind of like, since I brought the blanket from my bed, I'm just gonna like
a toddler, you stomp through the covers and have to push some of them down as you pull the comforter. Just
because I wanted to add to I just wanted to add a couple more sketches into my notebook. I wanted, or just like a couple extra things into my notebook. I wanted to write down. I wanted to sketch out. I know that the people in the auction all had masks on, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to longingly sketch out an image of my dagger, my chain dagger necklace. I'm also going to sketch out that one the dude that had the single female sprite on her shoulder. I'm going to sketch his face.
Wait, his name? Sir Londolin.
Yeah, Sir Londolin. I'm just going to like roughly sketch his face just so that I remember it in case he ever pops up again. And then there was one other one.
Curse under breath. I walk in, you're cursing.
I'm gonna put I had her name written down under the sketch that I did of Lady Ellaloth. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna put like a through it just for funsies. And this is embarrassing, but I was gonna sketch just to the best of my abilities that like wolfy grin or smirk that he gave me as he was leaving, just for fun.
Okay. You do them in that order?
Yeah, well, after I do the Xing out of the continent, and then I'll mark out her name, and then I'll draw a little sketch of yonder nast, and then I will, right as she's coming in, I'm finishing up my sketch of just like a side, not like his whole body, but just like the outline of like
his head turned over his shoulder.
Just like the turn of his head with like the smirk, the wolfy smirk.
You told me Malik is a wolf, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think you did.
Well, I mean, technically, I've only seen him as a human once, so I've always thought he's a wolf.
Okay.
So yeah, probably.
Good to know. All right, I'm gonna. Do you?
Yeah, I mean, I close it. Well, I'll turn to the page with the continents when I see her, and I'm like, look, all of these disappeared.
Did you have another dream last night?
Yes.
I heard the same thing.
Yes.
That we have a positive wave. And she's like moving her hands under the blanket, so they just like...
Oh, all you see are the edges of the... Whenever you have both edges of the comforter tucked under your arms, it just looks like the Michelin tire guy, as you're like swaying your arms, and you like, as you do this, both of the edges of the comforter, and then...
Oh, wow. Can't believe. I thought we'd have to do each one at once.
Yeah, and I'll point to the ones that I saw disappear and be like, all of these did. All of them. Yeah. And then I'm gonna kind of like share it between us and be like, but we need to figure out where we need to go next. But we also need to figure out what we're going to do today.
Okay, we have several things that we have to do today. We have to figure out what to do about the sprites. Because they've been quite prideful. I asked Sir Londolin. I had a dream last night with my patron, And he said that compromise is the best way to not dismiss their service, but to create a way to call upon it later. I don't quite know what to do. I think we should ask them their optimal situation and if they wanted to offer anything up. I don't think we should take all of them with us. I think that would be...
I mean, I'm always down for knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Citron had a lot of books, yo.
There's
a lot of books in there.
I look around the room, it's like,
oh yeah, I guess she's seeing, I guess, is she seeing the same thing I am in the room? That it looks like the...
Mm-hmm.
Your room is lovely.
Yeah, it's like a dream.
We both just snickers. Hello. Anything, hon? Come here. I didn't know that Citron had cats here. Sorry. Let's see. So we'll probably have to talk to them about next moves in that account. But yes, we need to decide where we're going next. So looking at the map, how far away, other than like the dot, well actually no.
Because the one
we're
that
still
was...
going to Bracklewhite.
I mean, yeah, but that dot's gone. It went out. So, out of the ones that are near us, which ones look near us? I know we might not know the city name, but like, to which direction is like the closest one to us?
Oh, technically, west would probably be closest. But even then, they're at a distance. And you do know that there are some mountainous-ish ranges in that area, so maybe east would be better. It's kind of hard to... It's hard to tell.
So, just curiously, these lights, are they only on this continent? Or was I seeing...
No, they were all... It's a world map. It's a world map.
Okay.
And you saw lights. That was one of the ones in the capital, Afiovion. Or in the capital of Afiovion, Asayama Asari. Azayama Asari, sorry. The capital of Afiovion. There was a light there, and it dissipated in your dream.
In the capital?
There was one in the capital.
And it
dissipated. Dissipated. On a different continent. So, yeah. Hang on, let me show you.
This is on the main continent, Afiovion?
Yeah, so you all are in Croix Calacio, this continent up here. This is Streosa, and then Afiovion is this entire continent down here in the south. This is the capital, and this is where you saw, right in this area is where you saw the light go out.
Okay.
Well, before we decide that, what should we do with all the dust that we have? We should give it to them.
I grabbed everything that I could, and I'm gonna get my bag of holding and start. I'm gonna get onto the floor because I don't want to get this all over the bed because I don't know what's in here. I'm gonna start carefully taking out everything that I remember putting in the bag, and then I'll turn it inside out in case I don't recall the names of things.
If you turn it inside out, everything comes out.
Well, I pull out everything that I know I've put in there. But, like, I don't know the names of certain things, so I don't know if maybe some of it might get stuck in there. If I don't know what it is. Because I was just fucking...
You lay out shit. All of these things. And you see that you have, I think, 8 or 9 jars of dust. Some of them are larger. Some of them are smaller vials of that very fine ground powdered dust.
Because I grabbed... There was the ones in the auction room that I grabbed, and then the ones in the storage place that I grabbed. Mm-hmm. And then you said I was grabbing random tools out of wherever...
Yeah, there were tools, there were needles and spikes and things with almost corkscrew-like precision on the ends.
And then I technically have all the keys because I was the last one that had the keys. So I have all the keys in there. And the rods, and then the one rod, and then, yeah, whatever. And then, since I don't really know what I grabbed because I was just like, bag of holding, hold all this. And then I will turn it inside out because I don't remember everything that I grabbed just in case.
You turn it inside out, and some of the books had poor binding. As you turn them inside out, some of them tear and rip the bindings themselves apart and end up being scattered around the ground. But you see there are 5 separate notebooks, what look like simple bound journals, as well as many different kinds of parchment just scattered. Some of them are different sizes, some of them are small, some of them are larger. But anyway, yeah.
So I have 5 notebooks. Go ahead and describe what I got, because I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, these were the notebooks. They themselves aren't finely crafted. It's more like someone was scratching notes on individual pieces of parchment and was making their own tome. You can see like where the bindings are sewn in manually, like crisscross in between. It looked like they were trying to create their own journal, but just kept adding page stock after page stock just to see how deep it could go.
Okay. So I got the 5 notebooks with some other notes. I got the ring of keys and rods. I got some random tools.
A lot of miscellaneous papers. A lot of them. Some of them were just blown out, but like there are 5 well made. You know, some of them are actually like what look like completed, and they have like some kind of wrapping around them. And then the one that was mostly torn apart in all of these different areas, you can see where it was being stitched together.
Okay, well I'll fix that one later. And then how many jars of dust did I get? 8 or 9.
Yeah.
9.
Or no, it would probably be more than that.
Because there was
like 14.
at least. Oh fuck! I didn't have any of that shit written down.
4 at least.
There was at least 4 at the auction, and then there had to have been more in the storage room. And I said I made sure that I grabbed every single jar of dust that I saw first.
So yeah, you would have ended up with 14.
Ooh.
And they're all of various sizes?
Various sizes. So some of them are smaller, like smaller than the size of your fist, just like small sample jars. And then, so there are some that are larger, almost like mason jars.
Okay.
Nora, make an investigation check.
Okay. Ooh, 17 plus 6.
Yeah.
That's 23.
Something about these jars seems familiar. Something about the way that they're lined up, the way that there's this shimmer to it. It reminds you of something.
I mean, it's not the vial of stuff that we have, because we knew that.
No, this seems closer to home.
Oh no. Have I worked with this material?
I've seen others work with this material when they were enchanting.
Oh no.
The thing is, it's not the same. There's something different. There's something, just seeing it ground in that fine powder, all of a sudden seeing it coalesce in one of these jars, it reminds you of a substance, this powdery-like substance that you have worked with, and elements that you have seen before being worked with when enchanting various items, various swords, weapons, armors.
So I haven't worked with this material exactly, it's just imitating it?
Seems like it.
And I've seen others work with the imitation powder, not actually with it.
Yes.
Okay. I feel awful if it's like, oh, just like.
FYI, I've actually been using this.
This is not vegan.
Yikes.
Wow.
When you thought you were vegan, but you're not.
Yes, exactly. Okay, I'm gonna relay this information to Talavin. This is very similar.
That's interesting. So then this,
Could be
to
used
these
to
people,
enchant.
they are using it for enchantments. You think? Like they're actually imbuing it into...
I would say that's a logical and intellectual
What
jump.
that you said you use something similar to this. What is it?
What is the thing
You
I
don't know?
usually use? I don't actually know. The thing that I usually use, or that I have used in the past.
Maybe we should find out. Maybe they're trying to replace it with something more powerful.
Well, they were going to the forges, trying to market their product.
And magical shops.
Yes. So that would make sense that it would be used. So the thing that the other material was used for, was it like to quicken it? Was it to make it the enchantment more powerful?
More powerful.
Okay.
Stronger. It seemed to help the enchanting process. It seemed to help the spell adhere and strengthen it within the blade itself. It wouldn't necessarily, like, if we were talking like outside, like, it wouldn't deal extra damage, but it seemed to aid the process, makes things a little bit easier.
To the point where anyone could enchant? You wouldn't have to have training in it?
You can make an intelligence check.
2. So 5.
You're not sure.
I don't know.
I mean, you've managed to work with materials and not use this this powder before, but you have worked with it, or at the very least, you've seen others work with it.
Would I have used
It looks similar. It's not the same.
Would I have used the enchanting powder on my sword or armor? Okay.
Yep. We were never told what it was. It was just part of the process. Like, if you're developing black and white photography, you have to have your wash, you have to have the bath, you have to rinse. There's just this process that you go through, and for some enchanting, this was just part of the process that you were taught.
So you said that it doesn't make the weapon more powerful, it just helps the enchantment.
It helps the spell adhere. It's almost like like when you exfoliate your skin, it helps the lotion. It helps the lotion on its skin. It helps you like clear up any potential impurities and helps other things be absorbed into it.
Okay. Goodness, you were just such a lovey today. Okay. Wouldn't I have recognized it whenever we got the vial before? Is it just because I never investigated the previous vial that we got?
Mm-hmm. Something about seeing them in these different kinds of jars. Seeing just a little bit, and it wasn't finely ground. The other one was coarse, but seeing this one has been more refined. So seeing it in this form, because it looked familiar before, but you couldn't place where. It was because it wasn't finely ground.
Oh no.
We technically have 2 vials of Sprite dust, don't we?
It was just the one.
Because I thought it was the one from the lady in... there was the... in Bomberg, but then there was also the tiefling? She had one. I thought she did.
Well, she didn't give it to us.
Oh.
If she did have one, I don't think she did that.
Because I know we asked her about it. But I know she was super like, I don't use that.
She refused.
Okay.
She refused to take it.
Some or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. So now I think we have another one. So 15.
Oh man, I just had a real bad thought.
You want to share? Might as well.
This is not Nora saying this. This is Mackenzie saying this.
Well, Nora
is
might
that
as well
okay?
say it.
No, because Nora wouldn't suggest this.
Why not?
Is Nora thinking this? If Nora's thinking this, then you can say it.
Sweetheart.
It's up to you.
No, Nora wouldn't think this.
There's no room over there for you, my love.
For them to pay their debt, we could keep the dust and use it to enchant.
Yeah. Hell no.
Exactly. That's why Nora wouldn't think that.
Yeah, definitely not.
Emma, there's hair everywhere.
There is drool everywhere. What are you talking about?
This cat drools.
You little drooly monster. Look at this little drooly hairy monster. Big drooly hairy thing.
Anyway, okay,
You're
sorry.
interrupting D&D. You need to go take a nap. Good girl.
I always sleep.
No.
I'm covered in cat hair now.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, Nora wouldn't. No. Okay, so the next thing we were looking. Oh, I was gonna investigate the journals.
Yes. Investigate journals.
Okay. None of them have any particular binding on them or words on the outside. They're all handwritten notes, scribbles. You look at it and you think, such untidy handwriting. With your eyes of the rune keeper.
Oh, wait, so I can't understand any of it?
Some of it is in common, but there are elements of other languages. Now, you wouldn't necessarily know what these languages are because that's not how Eyes of the Runekeeper work. It just says that you can understand what it says and that you can read it, not necessarily where it originates from.
Damn.
With that being said, you are able to read a vast majority of the different notes. And it is chilling and heartbreaking, as these are notes as to the process and methods used for best extraction.
Do you want to lead around so I can take notes?
Yes, she would read it aloud, or
And I will take notes.
at least translate it, speaking aloud.
I will put out a different journal. I probably have at least a couple. So that I'm not writing in the same one all the time. I feel like that one's going to get filled up quick. I have my art journal and my write things down in journal. Good. I'll write it. Well, no.
It's okay. You write it wherever you want to write it. Are all the journals about that?
One of them kind of goes through the overall autonomy, like an autonomy and physiology, or anatomy. Sorry, an anatomy and physiology book, talking about different elements, different parts, where it seems that different spells originate from. Even though that there's a summoning through the hands through this arcane ability, Sprite naturally have this inborn ability, or at least most of them do, from your experience. And so trying to discover some kind of origin. So one of them is essentially a anatomy and physiology book. One of them goes about discussing different properties of the wings themselves, about different chemicals that were applied, different herbs mixed with it. And this is where it starts getting tricky, because there are elements that are scribbled in, and then there are elements that look like they're encoded, where it's no known language. That whatever this is seems to be some kind of separate symbol system. Two of the books are filled like this. Entirely like this.
Of the wings?
The first part of one of them. So one of them was anatomy and physiology. One of them is half filled about the wings, and then the other half is this strange symbol, geometric, various codes that doesn't seem to be part of any particular language. And then two separate books entirely are constructed of this.
So then there's two left that we haven't read.
There is one official notebook and then another one which was the scattered pages.
Okay. So you're saying there's one anatomy physiology, and then three of them are technically have the code in it, but only one of them is halfway in code, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. And then you said the fifth whole one is got what in it?
The fifth one, a lot of it just looks like drawn circles.
Just like circles on pages?
Circles on pages.
Is it big enough that a sprite's body could fit within the circle?
Seems like it.
Okay.
Does there seem like anything besides ink on the pages?
No, these are just circles. You go over to the separate pages on the other side, however, and see that there are similar circles as drawn in this particular tome. Make an investigation check.
Natural 19 plus investigation.
10.
25.
And Nora, as you're the one who's looking through these, primarily reading these things off as your ability allows you to see the different languages, you look in the very, very back of the one that is just circles, just drawn circles, and you can see that there are tear marks in the back. And you notice that some of these tear marks align with some of the pages that are scattered from the journal that was being bound together.
Okay. And we haven't looked at the loose pages yet?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you're looking at the loose pages now.
Okay.
These ones, and you feel your breath catch in your throat. Some of them have marks and stains and pools on them. There are numerous sigils, writings, inscriptions. Some of the parchment pieces actually have puncture marks or tears in them right near the circles. And then in the part of the book that is still partially bound, as the entire thing didn't blow apart, not just some of the end pages were the ones that flew apart. But you look at the very beginning and there are just rows and columns. Seems to be some other form of code. You see, some of them give a physical description. Like there's a block for a physical description. And then there is some symbol. Some of them have check marks, some of them don't, going all the way down the row. There's another that has a different symbol. Some have check marks, some of them don't, all the way down. And then what catches you nearest to the end is that you usually see SF, 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 just following each individual entry.
Sprite failed?
Make another investigation check.
Natural 1.
2. So 8.
So 7.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. We were doing so well.
Going through this seems to be the vast majority of just SF all the way down the column.
Are there okay, so
I need a better representation. I'm not following this very well.
so it's mostly
When you say-
it has SF at the end of it, right?
Yeah, you said at the end, but now you're saying it's all the way down the column?
Yeah, the column. This is row column.
You saying that there was...
So in each individual row, there is a place what looks like a description and then boxes that follow. At the top of the page, like a grid, Excel spreadsheet, there are different sigils along the top, and then following these columns down, some of them have check marks, some of them don't, all the way down, following these different descriptions. And then at the very end column, the very last column, SF, 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 all the way down.
Do most of them have it?
Does it look like a
That was your
signature?
investigation check.
Another investigation check?
No, that was your investigation check. That was your investigation check.
Does it look like a signature?
Roll an investigation check.
I just rolled
As you're like trying to figure
17, and now I just rolled a fucking 9.
What are you
15.
looking at? What are you looking at, Tal?
15. It doesn't seem to be a signature.
Okay, so, does it seem like... Okay, I'm gonna look through the loose pages and the physical description and see if, like, which one would be the most recent one, and that the sprites that, like, the physical description, if it matches the ones that we just breed, like the ones that were still pinned to the table. Does that make sense?
So you're looking to see if there's any commonality between the writing and the description of the 18 sprites that you currently have in your company.
No. Oh, wait.
Well, no.
No, not in our company, because, like, there were some pinned on the table whenever I went into the experimental room. They were still pinned on the table, and so I'm looking for those ones' physical descriptions in the notebook.
Okay. Make an investigation.
I can't help you with that.
Okay, 17 plus investigation.
17?
So 23.
23.
Yeah.
As you go down in some of the later entries, you do see that there are very similar descriptions, physical descriptions, to the ones that you saw pinned. Although it was you only managed to glance at them. And as you look at the description in this journal, in the pages, it does seem to be, they do seem to have very similar qualities. They do seem to align.
Okay, is there an SF next to those?
Yes.
Okay.
Are there SFs on any of the other pages?
Yeah, there's...
Which book are you referring
there
to?
Was the last notebook, the one that's like half broke up. You said that there was SFs in the columns, the very last column. Are there SFs on the pages with all the stains and stuff on them too?
Make an investigation check.
I'm not even fucking looking at the right book.
Is sigil spelled with an S or a C?
Is what?
Sigil.
S.
Sigil failed, probably. But does Nora know? Probably not.
You can make an intelligence check.
Yeah, let's do that. Cocked.
That's cocked.
Much better. Okay, that's 21.
21? That can possibly be one of the potentials for translation for what this could be.
Because you said that there was, like, ruins at the top?
Yeah, they're runes.
And then there was check marks below those ruins?
Yeah. That some of them had check marks, some of them didn't have check marks. Whatever this sigil is, whatever it's supposed to represent to whoever wrote this, whatever the description was, this person either checked it or didn't. They either had met whatever criteria this was, met whatever they were looking for, possessed something, whatever that sigil means, whatever that rune means. Some of them had it, some of them don't, in the descriptions.
So for the rows, so we got the sigils at the top, and then for the columns, the very first column. What's in the very first column? You said it was
a description.
That's the description. So that's how. Okay. And then that Sprite's description is all the way across. Is there any of them where there are check marks on all the boxes?
Some of them, yes.
Oof. Do we recognize any of those descriptions?
You can make an investigation check.
Yeah, nope. I don't even remember what Talel looks like at this point. They have.
I won't
wings,
remember
and
what
that's
he.
all that I know.
Yeah, just tricky. There's a lot here. And you all just feel this brain numbness as you are contemplating, because there are many, many pages of just all of these different descriptions.
So, I'm assuming that fifth book with just the circles, they were just tearing out one by one those pages and shoving it into the new notebook that they were making?
Seems viable.
Because there was nothing in that notebook except for circles.
Mm-hmm. They didn't have sigils. They didn't have any markings on them. It was just drawn circles.
So so these ruins and these sigils and stuff, do I know any of them perchance?
That's what I was going to ask.
You can both roll an Arcana check.
That's cocked.
That is not
Fuck.
cocked at all.
Shit. Damn it. 11.
8.
11 and 8. Some of them look like... Some of them look familiar, some of them don't. But you would use some of these sigils in common practice. Some of them are just summoning magic sigils themselves.
Basically, we need to go find who knows Arcana and be like, I don't see super Oh,
Oh.
I guess I could. Wait a second. I'm just gonna draw out in my little, where I'm taking my notes in like a bigger form, each of the ruins and sigils that are on that top row. Just like in a bigger form, so I can like look at them and maybe show someone later on down the road and not have them look at this horrifying book, but just see the sigil.
I think we should show Citron the whole thing.
Well, also one of them, the whole thing. But I ain't showing all of them because
they don't need to see.
They don't need to see that.
It's too awful. Yep. Or maybe we're underestimating them and trying to protect them.
Probably that too.
Whenever they could take it. They'd probably take offense, actually.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, we can ask. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, you do your thing first. We have to tell Citron.
I'm gonna do that.
All right. You do anything else?
The little tools. How many of those tools did I get? Just like a whole bunch of random ones?
A whole bunch of random ones. Again, some of them almost look like a corkscrew. Some of them have like a corkscrew-like end, although they're very, very fine. Some of them look needle-like. Some of them are wider. Some of them look like they connect at the ends.
And what about, do they have any sigils on them etched anywhere?
Make an investigation check.
I'm going to stop using that dice. That is a natural 20.
Yeah.
Stop using my naughty dice. Use my not naughty dice. So natural 20 investigation, that would actually be a 26. Just FYI.
You're twiddling with some of them. You're weaving them in and out of your fingers. And there's a moment as you rotate one, as you spin it in your fingers and it spins around, you do notice almost like a top that reveals an image. There is a sigil.
Do I recognize? No.
What are you spinning?
One of the tools.
One of the very small tools. You spin it back and forth, and the image becomes clearer each time as you know now where to focus. You run your finger back and forth, focusing on the sigil that is now just moving back and forth as it's revealed through the friction of your fingers.
Okay, and do I recognize the symbol?
Make an Arcana check.
Oh, that's good. That's a 19.
19. This seems to have to do with... actually, you would be familiar slightly with Nora whenever she ritual casts a certain spell. This seems to be some kind of identifier.
So wait a second. Don't I have that? Like identify object?
Hmm?
And with that spell, identify object, can't you tell like what kind of... You can tell what kind of magic it is.
So they would be trying to figure out what
They're
type of magic.
identifying what kind of magic. Okay, I will draw that symbol as well in my notebook, and then I will sketch out the little tiny thing so that I can like connect it, so that I know which one did that. And then can I go through each one and see if it does that for the rest of them?
With that natural 20, you would have the wherewithal to do it. Some of them do have it, some of them don't. Some of them have sigils that are not the same as that one. Make another Arcana check.
Those two. That's a two. I don't know them, but I will draw them out.
No.
I will
some
draw
of them just
all of them out. And then give a description
or they look
of what
familiar and you just can't place where you've seen them.
Okay, spinning fingers, sigil appears. Okay, I will draw out all the sigils and give a description / like a little image of what each tool is that the sigil goes with.
Okay.
So that I can ask somebody later that knows lots of brain things.
Lots of brain things. I have 2 things.
Yeah.
Firstly, does all of the dust seem to be the same, or does some seem more familiar or different constitution than others?
They all seem to be similar.
Just similar?
All similar.
Okay. But none of them exactly what I used.
Correct.
Okay. And then 2, did any of the Sprite descriptions not have an SF next to them? You said most of them did, but
you said all of them did. You said
but I think there was
check marks.
Were there any that didn't have it checked?
You can roll another investigation check.
Yes.
I'd say now that you all have an idea of some of the bindings, you look back through. Go ahead and roll again. You technically checked for
18 for investigation is a 24.
You sift down through, and you do notice 2 entries, and only 2, mixed in with the rest.
Physical description?
There are physical descriptions. One of them, flowery, dark, red, hazel.
Whoa. Flowery, dark.
Flowery.
Flowery. Like a flower. Flowery, dark, red, hazel. You see 4.2.
Mm-hmm.
And next to this one, you see SPS. And the other one, like silver, gray, older, pale, 4, an X.
X?
Just an X. Yeah, 4X. You see SS.
Sigil succeed. Okay.
And what's SPS? Sigil.
I don't know. Does this description remind us of anyone? Like Citron, maybe?
Elements seem familiar, but you can ask him about it.
Okay. gonna tell him anyway.
Yep.
So it's only 2. What is
I mean, the
flowery?
description seems familiar.
Flowery.
I'm trying to think. The ones that were in
Wait.
the main cages, like the 8 that I got out of the auction. Does that sound familiar for any of them?
No.
Okay. Because I was like, they're probably not really experimenting on them because they're kind of rambunctious. They'd be harder to control.
Were these ones closer to the end? Or just scattered throughout?
This one is, they're next to each other and they're in the middle.
Middle.
The one Sprite, was her name Rain? Was the one that spoke out?
She had black hair.
She had
Rain
black hair.
was.
Fuck. I don't remember who had red hair. I feel like I know somebody did.
Wait. Spice's mom might, but that'd be a jump. That would be a leap in.
Oof. That'd be shit.
Does Spice have hazel eyes?
Yeah. She is Blondie.
Oh, I
She's
thought she had
blonde.
red
Okay,
hair.
yeah, I thought she did too. I envisioned
Someone
her
else
with like
has red-
strawberry
someone else has red
blonde hair.
Someone else has red hair.
Jen has red hair.
Jen does have red
But-
hair, but she got blue eyes.
So we were going to get Citron.
After I get dressed, I'm not going down like this.
Alright. Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
please,
gonna
let me go down in my nightgown.
get dressed too, I guess. And then
At which point, right before you guys, as you're gathering up various papers,
still my blanket.
you hear a knock on your door.
Oh dear.
I have the blanket wrapped around me and I just
You open it and it's Zoom.
Oh.
Good morning.
Already, he's dressed not in his armor, but in one of the cotton shirts and the pants. Slightly untied at his chest. His hair is still a little bit floppy in his eyes, and he...
You're going downstairs? Talavin?
I'm in the background like shoveling all the shit back into the bag of holding.
You just okay.
Ball. Down. Eventually I come over and I'm like, do y'all need help over here?
It's getting shorter?
And I'll link with him.
Paul's here.